turn this on, see?
Because I know these mics,
And now it didn't turn off.
there should be something like this, I wanna say.
Did you hear how that just turned off everything? When I turned on that mic?
Diamonds
Oh,
Direct,
that
so don't miss it. It's Friday and Saturday only. Buy
See,
your
that one comes
engagement
on
ring
when I
at the
hit that
guaranteed
microphone,
lowest
but we can't
price.
seem to
And
get
the
it,
wedding
the
band
volume up on
absolutely
it.
free. Only at
It was all
Diamonds
the way to the
Direct,
top.
official jeweler of the Cowboys at the shops in La Cantera. See for details.
I know you can't see me, but imagine there are two cars next to me, one to my left and my right. They look identical, but they're not. They're the 2018
Is there a
Honda Accord
controller on
and
it
the
somewhere else?
2018 North
Oh,
American car
here.
here. They both have
There's a
Honda
controller up here. What does that do?
automatic climate control, a push start button, and the newest technology on the market. But
Oh, I
there's
bet it
one
was-
big difference. Only one of
I bet
them
it
is
was
sold
this
at
setting
Honda
here,
San
right?
Marcos, where each
It
and
says
every
mic
vehicle
1 now,
comes
mic
with a
5.
complimentary lifetime warranty. That means as long as
Is
you own
there-
the car,
see, these
your
things
repairs will
turn.
be covered.
No
So
source,
even 40 years from
mic
now, you
5,
have an issue, they'll fix
mic
it
3, mic
on their
2.
dime. That's a
We'll just keep
lifetime
turning it until
warranty.
that
You
starts
won't
working,
shut
right?
up. What
Can't
is it
test
called?
it
right
If
now?
something goes wrong, and that's
Yeah,
why
we just
you
gotta
use
do
all
it.
the
What way you
other
would
best
set it?
sellers, like the Accord, Pilot, Civic,
Is-
CRV, HRV, and Fit. So when you purchase your next
Like
Honda,
that.
make sure you stop at Honda San Marcos, I-35, exit 200, across from the San
Okay,
Marcos
this says
Shopping
mic
Mall.
2,
Honda
3,
San
4, so we
Marcos
wanna do
got
5, right?
See
Yeah.
warranty details.
I bet when we turn it on, it'll work now. What do you think?
Let me give it a shot.
Retirement. It used to be a far-off dream, but now it's almost here. Join Brooklyn Chandler Willie for the Texas Financial Advisory Show to get the news and information you need to make your retirement dream a reality. The Texas Financial Advisory Show, Sunday mornings at 10
Okay.
on Brooklyn
Now
Chandler
at least-
Willie.
God has tremendous problem-solving devices, and you can learn all.
Testing, testing.
He's inviting you to join me every Sunday morning.
I couldn't hear him.
Don't let the dealership steal
What
your
did he
car.
say?
Go to
He said to try it.
gimmethevin.com and sell it to
I know,
them
he
for
said
right
something
money, the most
after.
money.
He
If
said
they don't
that
meet
you
your
couldn't
CarMax
hear it.
offer, they owe you $100, period.
And you know, I was here on
Gimmethevin.com,
Friday
sell it.
too, and this was one of the things that I made sure. When I came on Friday, I said, we need this mic working. You're
What
for
would
sure
a
that this
Medicare plan
mic
look
works.
like if it were built for San Antonio? You're about to find out. Introducing Mutual of Omaha Care Advantage HMO, a Medicare Advantage plan featuring $0 monthly premiums, $0 medical deductibles, and $0 prescription drug deductibles. Call 833-286-3877
See, they got this one going on.
to find out more.
Everything's
This
off here.
all-in-one plan covers doctor and hospital visits, has low prescription copays, and even includes dental and vision care, health club
See, all these
memberships, and
buttons are
rides
not
and
on.
appointments, all for a $0
Only the
monthly
two
premium.
microphones
The
have it
Mutual
on.
Omaha Care Advantage HMO plan. Annual enrollment period ends
See,
December
these
7th.
two,
Call
which is that one, right?
833-286-3326.
Yeah, that's that one.
That
one comes- has all the lights on, but this one doesn't. Should we turn them all on?
Mutual of Omaha. We begin by listening. Mutual of Omaha Care Advantage is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract.
What about the other ones,
Mutual
though?
of
How about
Omaha
these
Care
two?
Advantage
No,
plan
no,
depends
you-
on
just
contract
mainly the red
unit.
one.
Okay.
The one that says program, mainly that one.
Try it now.
Hello, hello. Did you hear me?
Bad stuff. Daddy's night.
Sorry I'm late.
In the doghouse. Get to the good stuff. Traffic. News Radio 1200. WOAI.
Here we go.
Welcome to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith Moehle and glad to be with you this Saturday. And Morgan's still trying to get her microphone on. Let's go ahead and try that, Morgan.
Hello. Nope.
One more time.
Hello.
Let's see if that works.
Nope.
No, that's still not working.
Well, guess I'm moving.
Okay. Works. At least we're pretty sure of that. So we are taking your calls at 737-1200, and we apologize for the little bit of communication issue. You want to try that one?
Is it on?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to sound like right there. There she is, everybody. Morgan's back.
Now I'm not on the video though.
Right. Sorry about that. And we will maybe get this thing working on the other under the break, during the news break. But we have been talking about a little bit about in between calls. We take your calls at 737-1200. Some of the things that you should be looking at while you're entertaining
Yep.
or hosting or just having time off.
But first we wanted to do our client testimonial.
Oh yeah.
And I have a letter from Mr. Jason, and he said, Abel, we wanted to thank you both for a wonderful job and outstanding attention to detail. We appreciate the kindness and understanding you showed us. Many thanks, gracias, Mike Jason.
Yeah, so that was a tough project because it was refinishing cabinets, and it wasn't just a straight refinish, it had, kind of a shading in it, and it's very, very temperamental to figure out what people want on that, and so.
It's beautiful
so-
though.
So he was really, yeah, you photographed it just last week, right?
Yeah.
And the letter that he had given to us was, during the job, he had left it on the job site for some of the workers, because he saw how patient they were, and even though we had to change it a few times to get it just right for them, the guys were very patient, and we do have a very satisfied client, don't we?
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
very happy.
It's a very modern look with a thick edge on that counter. Did you like that
Oh
thick edge?
yeah, it fooled me.
Yeah, it's-
I
it's
said,
tall
"You've
one.
got that extra large countertop," and she said, no, I don't.
Yeah.
It's a beveled edge, I think, or what is
No,
it called?
laminated edge, it's built up.
Yeah,
It's a built up edge.
it was
So
cool.
it's got the thicker,
Look.
and so we built the countertop up and then brought the sides down.
Yeah,
So it's a beautiful quartz product, and a little bit thicker than this is right here.
it looked like about 2 inches, right? 2 or 2.5 inches.
It's like 1 3/4 inches.
Well, it seemed very large.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look at it, it's like this big.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's
Mhm.
very, very nice. It's a very modern look in that,
Mhm.
and you saw the before shots yet?
Yeah, totally different. She showed me on her phone because she has it.
Yeah, she's very excited about it, so is he,
Mhm.
and they're people who really know what they want. We're privileged to be able to work for people who are very, very specific. They're really attention to detail clients, and that's not a easy thing for some people to do. I mean, we're not gonna say it's easy for us either, but we expect it. It's exactly what we expect, to live up to very, very scrutinizing clients. And there's nothing wrong with asking to be very, very picky about your project. So if you're picky, give us a call at 680-KMCO or kmbuilders.com, and we will be glad to work for you and show you that it can be done and you can get what you paid for. When you're in your home this year during these times, you may be thinking, I wish I had already remodeled before the end of the year, before I had the holidays come upon us. And it's not all lost if you use some of that energy you have right now and take good notes about the things that you don't like, or the things that bother. Sometimes we don't really notice it until we're in certain situations, like crowds coming in, and I just don't like the way people crowd my kitchen. Another thing that
There's
people,
not enough seating around in your kitchen.
yeah, so people can't comfortably sit. And sometimes you may be so used to it you don't notice it, but we're asking you to take notice of it, because if you're feeling that you wished you had overhauled the kitchen, well, at least this way you'll have some really good notes to do it correctly. Or your bathroom, the things you just don't like, or the things you're embarrassed, because sometimes what happens is we just take a closer look before we go into the holidays or the entertaining seasons for people when they're gonna have company, and they take a closer look at it. And that's what you need to do now. You take a closer look and take note of it so you don't forget it. Whether it's, you know what, some of my cabinets have a little bit of water discoloration on the top of them. Some of them in the bathroom are not looking as good as I realized it when I turned on the lights. Sometimes we're even putting in new bulbs, we're even dusting the bulbs, and all of a sudden we've got better light in there, and now we're noticing something that we didn't see before. So maybe you should take a really good inspection, take some notes, and see how far you want to go with your model, and the things that would make it more comfortable for you while you're doing it. Now, a lot of the fun things we're seeing that we can do on a budget, for a lot lower budget, is change the flooring and giving you the painting. So if you're thinking you want to do that, we do want to mention that can be done before the holidays are started, and they can be completed in time.
Especially if we do that quick LVP flooring.
That's right. That LVP flooring has oftentimes been at half the price of what people are expecting to pay.
And it's fast to install since you don't need to demo a
That's
lot
right.
of times.
It's so much faster, so much easier, so much less headaches, so much less stress for the client. And we'd love to do that for you and show you that product. It's a stone polymer composites, SPC floors, LVP. They are, a lot of people have seen this floor look like wood in a porcelain tile. And they know, when I tell them, you know how real it can look? They say, yes, I've seen it. Well, they're doing that same technology on other products that are actually saving labor and saving materials. So don't be afraid to look and see how you could save possibly half off the price of what a flooring company is going to charge you to do your entire home. So if you're talking 20,000, you could be doing it for 10. That's very, very common. And I think we have a caller here. Let's see if we can get that on. I'm trying to remember how to do that, but I think
you
it's,
just
I think
press
it's
the
all up to
button,
Paul. Charles, are you there? Okay, Charles, how can I help you?
Yes, I'm wondering about crown molding, which way in several places that we'd like to install crown molding. Is that something that your company does handle?
Yes, crown molding is a really nice thing to do. Any kind of trims like that can be done quickly and efficiently and painted in place and just look, really make a nice accent. I think that's a great idea, Charles.
The other question is, I have some cherry wood like cabinets in the kitchen. My wife is looking at maybe going to an off-white cabinet. Is it possible to refinish that, or do you have to actually buy a new cabinet?
Yes, they can be refinished and if you're talking about painting a cabinet that is a wood stained product right now, and going into a painted cabinet, I'll tell you, those two woods are quite different in the way that they paint up. Mahogany has a grain that comes through to the surface, and cherry is
Yeah,
it cherry?
it's cherry.
Oh, that's great, because cherry has a closed grain. It has, mahogany has an open pore grain on it, and cherry has a closed grain, and that actually can be painted. I hate to see you paint beautiful cherry, but hey, if you want painted cabinets, cherry is a great wood to do it. So yes, I'd love to look at your project, Charles, and show you what it would cost to refinish those cabinets, do some trim work, some crown moldings, a little bit of painting, and see what you think about it. If you'd like to do it, we'd get started fairly quickly on that.
All right, thank you. We'll just give your office a call then.
All right, that's 680-5626. Thanks for calling the show. Have a great day. And so just like that, you can call the show right now, and that number is 737-1200 or 1-800-383-WOAI. And we are looking for projects like that because some of the bigger projects, people are making us hold off till the first of the year. So if you'd like to squeeze in a small project before the end of the year, KM Builders would be grateful. Carpenters at your disposal in our own company, expert trim craftsmen, fine carpentry, and as well as structural work can be done by our in-house craftsmen. We will send out someone, and it'll probably be me, that goes out and meets you to look at some of these projects. We'll get some numbers together for you. We will be extremely detailed, and one of the things we will do for you is separate the prices. Like, so when Charles calls us, we're gonna separate the trim, we're gonna separate the painting, the cost of the labor and materials of each of these components. You need to know what you're paying. It certainly helps you to see if you want to upgrade or do anything else. So if crown molds, maybe a 2-stage crown mold is going to be absolutely gorgeous. We'll show you what that looks like, and Charles would be able to see, okay, here's the price for a 4-inch or 5-inch crown, and here's the price for a 2-stage. If you've ever seen a 2-stage crown, it's really lovely. It goes up down the wall a little further and just really, really sharp. So you can do that, and you'll see that it's only going to cost a little bit more to get something stunning, a little bit more than what he expected, and because you're already there and you can do it for a little fraction of what it would take to do it later. So we do want to meet you and your large or small projects and get those into our list of tasks to do. Go ahead and take a break, but we want to mention the Altstadt Brewery, who's a sponsor of the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show and KM Builders. We also do them drink their beer on Wednesday nights, Cold One with KM. And if you haven't seen our midweek Instagram and Facebook, you should join us at about 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights. We have a real down-to-earth, homegrown conversation about things going on during the work week, even in the what's going on in the air. And that Altstadt Brewery, we went there and did a wonderful video, which we're releasing, and that's out on 290 East on Fredericksburg, Texas. It's a German-style Bavarian brewery with about 12 different brews, and they are really awesome. So we encourage you to go make a day out of going to the Altstadt Brewery, where you will have a really nice time out there, and the food is incredible.
Yeah,
So,
it's delicious.
yeah, we had a nice time, didn't we?
Mhm.
We went out there, so we'll be back shortly after the news break to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
This is News Radio 1200
Thank you for pointing
WOAI,
that out.
San Antonio, and
Yeah, it's still
iHeart
blinking,
Radio
though.
Station.
Oh, that, I don't know what that is.
It
Like
says,
although
Hugh
there are some
Collar.
steps we're following. Pittsburgh
Oh,
police
really?
say a suspect
Yeah.
in a shooting at a
Well,
synagogue
that's where
is
you
in
saw
custody.
it.
There are reports
I
of
was
multiple
wondering
people
how
killed
you
in
knew
that
the
attack.
name.
Several other people injured or wounded, including 3 police officers. The suspect may have also been wounded. SWAT officers clearing the synagogue complex following the suspect's surrender. Authorities say a Florida man with a long criminal history is the one accused of sending explosive device.
That Q caller button was flashing, so I pushed it and stopped it from blinking. Is that okay?
Completely shut down, you're pretty much forced to use the service road, you're gridlocked back to route there. I'm Dylan Keller, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
This report is brought to you by 7 to 7 Dental and Orthodontics.
I'd like
Open
you to
7
try
days a
to say
week.
something
7
there
to
real
7 Dental and Orthodontics. Open 7 days a
Get
week.
ready.
Don't let your hard-earned dollars go to waste. Dental benefits expire December 31st, 2000, or online at 7to7dental.com.
I know.
Bye.
Dental.
December 31st.
From the
It
Ajax
doesn't go
Roofing.com
over the
weather
air.
center.
He has to,
High temperatures
he
will run a little bit
chooses
above
what's
average.
going.
Are gonna be out this weekend.
Know that,
This
right?
Saturday hitting 84 with sunshine and a light breeze out of the west and
I
southwest.
bet you I could say it
Overnight
and it
clear
would go
below
over.
59 and not a whole lot of change for Sunday. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine with a high hitting 83. I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel on San Antonio's official weather station, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Hear that? That's the sound of Harley-Davidson freedom. And that's the sound of your free Cowboy Harley-Davidson $1,000 gift card. That's right. This month only, buy any pre-owned Harley-Davidson and receive a $1,000 gift card. Use it for motor clothes, bike accessories, or whatever you want. Ride out in style with your $1,000 gift card. Only at Cowboys Alamo City Harley-Davidson. North Park Lexus of San Antonio and North Park Lexus at Dominion invite you to discover why not all pre-owned vehicles are created equal. Truth is, most aren't hand-selected by master technicians or subjected to a rigorous 161-point inspection. Most aren't covered by a 6-year unlimited mileage warranty or offered with 24/7 roadside assistance. And most don't come with all recommended maintenance for 2 years or 20,000 miles. Because most pre-owned vehicles are not Lexus L certified pre-owned vehicles. Get all the confidence you've come to expect from a Lexus for less than you think. Only at North Park Lexus of San Antonio and North Park Lexus at Dominion. Elite of Lexus dealers for 23 straight
What's that?
years. Located on the corner of
So I went ahead and turned this one off, and I wanted to see if it worked if I made it mic 2.
On Lexus.com and North
So I
Park
thought, let's
Lexus
change it to mic 2
Experience
and
Lexus.
see if that
the
works. And
But it didn't light
I'm
up.
your old cheap water
Didn't light up.
softener.
No.
Trick or treat, I got news for you. I'm not working again. Don't feel like it.
That
Sorry
one
about the
lit up
itchy, dry
still.
skin and brittle hair. You look good though.
So that changed it to that
Imagine what
mic.
the inside of your home's pipes look like with all that hard water.
So
Now
we
that's
definitely need to put it
scary.
back on mic
Don't
5.
let your old sporadic water softener run your house. Call us at Connecticut. A Connecticut water system can actually lengthen
It's lighting up, but
up.
Oh,
It
I
gives
know.
you
Why don't we
soft
change
skin,
this to mic
silky
5?
smooth hair. I'm Chris Knippa, owner
Oh.
of Connecticut Quality Water
Can we
Systems
try that?
for San Antonio and the Hill Country.
Because this is where it
There's a
was.
reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at
This is a
656 Pure. I'll even let you try Connecticut water system for free.
hello? I don't
It'll
know if that'll
change
make
your
a
life.
difference. I mean, we can't tell,
I
right?
thought it worked.
You need to take another
Let
break.
me
The last one
turn it on and talk to you.
SA.com.
Hello, hello? Can you hear me? Nope.
Recognition they deserve
Dang it.
for their role influencing pop culture and public opinion. And you decide which podcasts are the best. Introducing the iHeartRadio
Doubt it.
Podcast
See,
Awards,
we'll be able
presented by
to hear
Capital
it.
One. First major podcast awards where your vote will decide who won.
Could you hear me?
Like crime, comedy, music, sports,
So you
curiosity,
didn't hear
and
me
more.
either.
Cast your vote, and you're automatically qualified to join us in person for the first ever iHeartRadio Podcast Awards, live from Los Angeles, January 8th. Now at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Who is he?
30 minutes past the hour.
The most important news story? Who is he?
It matters to
Paul
you.
Kidwell.
I really like getting updates.
He used to run the show.
News Radio 1200.
Who's our other guy?
WOAI.
Ready? Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling Design Show. Let's see if that's working, Mike Morgan.
It's not. I'm
I think
moving.
We can still hear you though.
Haha.
All right, so that wasn't the solution. And we are taking your calls live at 737-1200 or 1-800-383-WOAI. If you're concerned about a project or you have a question about something with a project, we would love to talk to you and answer your questions. We can also talk to you about whether you could get your project done if you're thinking about starting a project or completing a project by the end of the year. So
Okay.
let's see if that's working now.
Oh, you gotta switch it back.
I think what we should have done was,
Jeez.
how's that working?
Now? Is it working?
Try that.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so you're gonna have to use
Oh my
my
god.
microphone now. We probably messed that up. This is microphone 5, so let me try it over here.
I'm on microphone too.
Let's try.
But first we'll do our What's Trending segment while we're trying to figure that out. I have seen this really cool thing in some blogs, and I didn't even know this existed, but I think it also qualifies as a universal design feature. So it's a slide-in electric range, but instead of having the knobs and like you have to reach over the pot of boiling water and turn off the water or turn it on or turn off the heat, all the knobs are at the front. And typically you would see those, Viking has the beautiful knobs, but now you can actually have them in a less expensive range. And so this one's just GE. It seems that they're making them all this way, which is such a safer version. So that's my What's Trending segment.
And that's a really cool thing that we're seeing so much innovation in it. That's a much more modern look, isn't it?
Yeah, and you don't have to mess up your pretty black backsplash.
Yeah, so that's a good quick fix for a lot of people to get that modern look. And so let's try that microphone again, see if that's working.
Looks like it's on.
Yeah?
Okay.
How that worked. Everything's probably from a source, even though we think we're controlling things over here, we're really not.
Right.
Sounds like a lot of things in life. But we appreciate y'all listening to us today and asking questions. Again, 737-1200 or 1-800-383-WOAI. And one of the things that people notice whenever they're entertaining is, like you said earlier, do I have enough room to entertain?
Mm-hmm.
Is my kitchen crowded is one of the biggest complaints.
Yep.
Another thing is opening it up room so that you can feel like part of the party.
Yeah, you
And-
don't want to exclude the cook.
A
Because
lot of-
typically that's mom, and
That's
moms put a lot of effort into these parties.
And some of the people that are on the periphery of the kitchen can see the living room, the
Mhm.
game, whatever's going on there, and they get to talk to the cook. And so that's kind of nice. But it's nice for them, but it's not necessarily nice for the cook because they don't get to see what's going on. So if you would like that to change, make note of that, where you're putting your television, where you're putting, what's blocking your view to it. And that can be changed. One of the biggest things you can do to make your kitchen modern is open it up to the rest of the living areas. That's what people want these days. And a lot of people that I meet say that they didn't think it could be done, or that it'd be too cost prohibitive. And most of the time they mean like, $20,000 to open it up. And it's not. It's usually like three to 5,000 to open up some walls. But what a big difference. And then it changes your whole layout of your kitchen. You can actually get a really different kitchen that way, and a stunning kitchen is what you'll have. So take notice of what's blocking you, what you would like to see, maybe some of the views you'd like to bring into the other rooms, a view to another room from a kitchen, or a view into a dining room that you could actually see the back of the home. A lot of times we're opening up the view from the very front door. You can see into the kitchen, or you can see to the back now and get a wider panoramic view. So those are some of the common projects we see on some of the really nice homes that we visit. They are really nice. They're in nice neighborhoods, but they're too compartmentalized. Yeah, they're compartmentalized. And it's the resale value of the home and your pleasure and the openness that you would feel like you'd have a bigger home if you could just get those things changed. And really, once you do that, all the beautiful things in your home just start popping. Get some new flooring in there many times, some new paint, some new lighting, and your house feels like a brand new home. And take out a couple of walls and put the new flooring in, and that's a great time to do it. If you're going to do new flooring anyway, then take out those walls at the same time, because you're going to go right over those places that don't have flooring where the walls were located before. And so we really like doing that for people. I love telling people about these opportunities, because a lot of times they don't think about it themselves, and they're just too used to the home the way it is. But this is a great opportunity on a low budget to get the new flooring, the new paint, and of course you want to get that taller base trim in there. That base trim can really stand out proud. Your base trim's in small, and when you put new flooring up against them, you have to put a shoe mold over that, and so then it starts swallowing up the little base trims that you have. So that's a great time. Yeah, it makes it look even smaller. And that's a great time to put about a 4 to 6 inch base, or even taller, an 8 inch base. In some homes that have really big walls, a 10 inch base looks incredible. And it's just a fraction more to pay for the upgrade to the next size. You really wouldn't even hardly notice it in your budget. You're gonna have people painting it anyway. They're painting a slightly bigger board. People are installing the new trim anyway. They're installing a slightly larger board that only costs a few pennies more. And so this is a great time to do something really stunning where the builder cut back. It just didn't give you something nice. We can do that for just a fraction more. And those floors, those LVP floors, those SPC floors are just incredible, with lifetime warranties, 100% waterproof, and again, half the cost of installing other floors, and sometimes even less than half of the cost of installing other floors. If you're thinking of a wood floor, and you'd like wood floors, this will be less than half. If you're thinking of a porcelain floor, it will be at least half the price, more like what you've gotten a quote on. But you're going to like the results better. You're going to like the livableness of this,
Maintenance.
the beauty of it, the maintenance, the warranty, all of that.
I was talking to one of our clients. They are about to do their floors. They want to do their floors, but she's like, we have to clean the grout. She showed me all the way at one spot where it hardly gets walked on in comparison to the kitchen, and I was like, oh my goodness. So it's an embarrassing thing that if you get new floors, that's some stress off of you, and if you get that flooring that you're talking about, you don't have to worry about grout.
Yeah, not only does it not change color because there is no grout, it doesn't get little dirt in there and stuff like that you have to clean harder. So but if we did do floors for you, or porcelain floors, which we still do, or we did a shower tile for you, we would put in a grout that would not change color.
Oh, that exists.
Yeah, it's a stain-free grout. Because it's not a concrete product like most grouts are. So it's a latex-based product, or an acrylic-based product, or a epoxy-based grout. And these do not ever stain.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little more work, but it's really worth it. It costs just a little bit more to install, but it's really worth it. So if you want those products, and we install those all the time, then get the good ones. And we're gonna go ahead and go to a break, but before we do, we wanna mention our sponsor, Legacy Heating and AC Services, and now is a perfect time to call Chad Briggs and his crew at Legacy Heating and AC Services at 830-6088, that's 830-6088-8000, or go to legacyservicesac.com. We'll be right back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
Get a free wedding band at Diamonds Direct. Listen, this is huge.
Man, the service over here sucks.
Really, maybe we need to get on their other Wi-Fi. You talking about the Wi-Fi?
I had to even get off of it because it sucked. So now I'm on your cellular and that sucks. It's paused on Instagram. This whole thing sucks.
I wonder if there's another Wi-Fi. What Wi-Fi did they give you?
They gave me
the guest.
No, we're on the guest.
That's what I'm on, guest.
Yeah, they gave me the other one, but they won't give it to me. They're only allowing us to have that for the Mevo. And it was barely working.
But not for the other phone? Why can't you use the same Wi-Fi for both?
Because it's just like how at KM Builders we have two different Wi-Fis and we want our clients because it gets access to the server and stuff
What
like
I'm saying,
that.
I'm saying you said they allowed it for the Mevo.
I know,
Then how come it can't be for other devices as well?
because they won't put it on our other devices. They only want
You can
us to
put it
allow
on. You can put it on my device.
the password.
Oh, so we don't know it.
No,
They did it
they
themselves.
yeah,
Oh, I got you. I didn't know that.
yeah, they put it on themselves.
Well, at least we got it there.
Yeah, but they said we had to go upstairs to the IT department. It looked like Google in there. It was crazy. It was so many tech guys, and so the tech guy had to do it.
Well, I understand that. It's just that the other one's not good.
I know.
But that didn't even give you good service. You're saying the Mevo?
Well, for some reason it's still connected, but in the beginning it wouldn't connect. It kept losing the connection. I had to do it like 5 times and then it worked, but I don't know.
What are you doing with going with Mom?
She said gonna pick me up at the apartment because y'all aren't going out.
She hasn't decided for sure. We talked back and forth. When she talked to you, she said no, but I think she might have changed her mind. But she'll still come back, and she doesn't want to stay there the whole time. She's gonna drop you off and then come home and then meet me. That's what she said.
Because I told her that I could just drive.
Doesn't matter. She wants to come and go. It might be easier just to let you drive and then a better excuse to leave, because you have to go.
Yeah.
Since we'll be coming back, it might be a little. No, she just wants to take you so that she has to take you back.
Exactly.
This thing is crooked. I like it. Oh, because it's got a curve here, but still. I'm a little OCD about that stuff.
It's too high tech.
You know, you just need to be trained. Looks pretty simple, actually. Looks a little intimidating, but when you look at what's on them.
Yeah, but we can't figure out how, like, we need to have him be up higher. You know what I mean? On that.
Here we go. Welcome to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith Moehle, glad to be your host for this last section of the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show, and we do talk about remodeling and design, and we take your questions at 737-1200 or 1-800-383-WOAI. Again, that local number 737-1200. You can ask a technical question or a simple one. It doesn't matter. There's no two simple questions to ask. We can easily help you out. It can be from radiant barrier to LVP flooring. Say, I heard you talk about it. What is that stuff? Don't be afraid to ask us. But if you would like to do something in your home, you should log on to kmbuilders.com, because that's how we can help you out. Get you a free consult, come out and meet you, and we will talk about what could be done with your home before the holidays or afterward. And speaking of the bigger projects that obviously will be done after the holidays, now would be the time to start designing your project, because it takes longer than you might think to design your project, especially if you work during the week and you and your significant other are going to only be able to meet maybe once a week. Those meetings and the homework that you get to do they take time, and there's usually a week between each meeting. And when you can only spend a couple of hours per meeting, which is what most people's level of being able to do it, the more they can handle is a couple of hours of a meeting. When that's the case, then you have homework to do, you have work to do for the next meeting. And those meetings are very, very productive, and everyone has to prepare, especially our team of designers, whether that be the architectural team, architectural designers, or the interior designers, or whether that's the cabinet designers. They will all need to prepare heavily for that meeting and do their research and show you what things are going to look like, which usually includes drawings, 3D renderings, and so forth. And sometimes even storyboards that show how the product's going to look together. Those all take time. And takes time is you doing the homework to tell us what you liked. Which one of these did you like? Showing us some of the projects that you've seen pictures of that we're going to tell you how to find, and telling us which of these looks better to you. And so it's very kind of like an eye test. When you get your eyes tested, they say, which one looks better, this one or this one? And you go, I think it's this one. And then you go on from there and you build on those till you get a 20/20 vision. And that's what we're going to do for you. Your vision will come to life if we do work together and give you the proper homework, and then of course you do your homework. So if you want it to be done professionally and detailed, which you probably do, then you should be willing to invest some time in it. If you're willing to invest some time in it, then you should start soon to have it done later. These projects take sometimes months to design on some of the bigger projects. Some of the simpler ones, not so much, and some projects require virtually no design at all. They do require selections though. Even a hall bathroom is going to require you to make selections. This can take some of your time, at least one meeting, and so we want to make sure we leave enough time for that. Then we're going to extrapolate all the numbers for you that you can make choices, because not all products are created equal. Then we will talk about the pros and cons of every product. Us being leaders for many products, we go to seminars, we learn about the pros and cons of every product that we offer to you. And there's so many products out there, and some of them are really, really great, but some of them are not recommended, and you'll learn about those products. So we're going to do an education with you, professional guidance along the way, and you're going to get choices, and those prices will be reflected. Each choice that you have will have a separate price for you to see if it's worth it to you or not. After considering the pros and cons, you'll definitely want to consider the price. And so we have to do our work. That takes time. We have to break it all out, because those prices are not the same for your neighbor or your friend or one of our other clients. They are all different. And it is important that we give you an accurate price so that we have the best chance of winning your business and treating you fairly. And that's going to really mean a lot to you to be transparent. We'll show you our profit and overhead separately from the cost of the labor and materials, what it cost us. And again, being dealers for these products means we're buying at a lower price point. We are also members of the Texas Custom Builders Guild and the Custom Builders USA buying, which is a nationwide buying co-op with tremendous power. We are listed between the second and third largest builder in San Antonio by our buying volume and the building volume that we do as a group. So that is a very, very good accomplishment for King Builders to be able to offer you that significantly lower pricing. We have a nationwide buying opportunity with Caesarstone and with Lennox Air Conditioning. So if you're interested in any of those products, you're gonna get it really, really good. I can't tell you how good it is, we're not even allowed to advertise how good this pricing is, but it does make other builders jealous.
Even
Yeah.
other AC companies
Even
jealous.
other AC companies, right, but Legacy, our buddies in the field, and Classic Air, who also work with us, they're both great, and they do get the pricing, but only for customers like us that are CBUSA customers can they get that pricing. But that is transferred to you, and we're starting with a much lower buying point. So if you'd like to take advantage of the time where people are saying, let's hold off on this project and get us in for a small project, maybe upgrade your base trims, your floors, your painting, your crown mold like Charles, or new doors, windows. We've got the siding, we've got the Silex siding and the Hardy plank, and you'll definitely want to learn about both. The Silex siding is a cellular product that insulates, and it never needs to be painted. So if you want the best, KM Builders, set up an appointment with us. I'll come out and meet you, and that's kmbuilders.com. Or you can look us up at our phone number, 210-680-5626. That's an easy one to remember, 680-KMCO. Again, kmbuilders.com, and join us on our other social media during the week. Wednesday we'll be having
We'll be doing our live cold one with KM on Instagram and Facebook at KM Builders. And check out our YouTube channel for our weekly vlogs. We just posted a great video of the Henrys on Friday.
That's
So check that out.
Nice addition. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we look forward to seeing you all next week on the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. And remember, you could have someone else remodel your home, but then you'd have to live in it.
The proceed. Can you end it on that? Wow, it ended automatically. It never.
On this? Not sure how to end it. Slide to stop. There we go.
Yeah.